Well, hi everyone. We are in Chester County, Pennsylvania, and today we are at French Creek State Park, and we are going to give you a full tour of this awesome park. And we're starting our tour up at the top of the hill where the pool is located, and you can kind of see it right through the trees there to the right. And you can buy a seasonal membership to the pool, and you can also just get a daily membership to the pool. They have a pool snack bar, and they also have tons of picnic tables and grills. You can also rent boats and canoes and kayaks right here at the pool area as well. Right at the pool area, they also have a large pavilion that you can rent. So if you're having a birthday party or some kind of special celebration, you can rent that pavilion. Now, that does not include the fees to go into the pool, but you can look online and get all the prices for those things. But they do have a really nice sized pavilion if you're having a special event. So now we're going to be heading down the hill, and I'll point out the different things as we come across them. We'll go to the different lakes, we'll check out the campground, we'll do all the campground loops, we'll check out the cabins and the yurts that they have available for rent. And right here, this is another bathroom facility that they have on your way down from the pool. They have tons and tons of walking paths and hiking trails. There's orienteering. Definitely don't forget to bring your bug spray. It's weird, like one spot there'll be no bugs, and then all of a sudden, like 10 feet past that spot, you're like being attacked by a gazillion mosquitoes. So definitely pack your bug spray. They also have the disc golf. They have those nets, and then you throw the frisbees into the chain nets. They also have, that here as well. And I know a lot of people come here for the disc golf. And they also have horseback riding trails, and you'll need to check online about, where those trails are in relation to French Creek State Park. Like the Horseshoe Trail goes through French Creek, so there is, there's some riding trails available also. They also have fishing here at both lakes. We're going to visit Hopewell Lake and Scots Run Lake. Those are the two lakes. And you just need your fishing license. I think it's 16 and older, you need your fishing license. They also permit ice fishing here too. So we're just turning right into this parking lot, and I just wanted to show you that there's a couple different areas that you can park. So if you pull into this parking lot, now this is at the bottom of the hill from where we came from, where the pool was at the top of the hill. So if you come down, just like what we did, come down to the bottom of the hill, this is another parking area, and you can also park here and access the pool and the boat rentals. So I'll just show you as we come around this bend. Looks like they're doing some construction work here, but you come around here and there's some bathrooms right there. So if you walk, you'll probably see a trail right here, and that trail goes to the right of the bathrooms. That will lead you right to the pool and the boat rentals. Now also right here, if you park, there is a large fishing pier. So if you wanted to fish off the fishing pier, this is the parking lot that you would want to park at. And sometimes in the summer, if the top parking lot where we first came from, if that's crowded, this is, a lesser known parking lot. It doesn't normally get as crowded as the top parking lot. And I don't really think it's that much further of a walk to the pool. So this is another little alternative if you wanted to park down here. It might be a little bit less crowded than the upper lot. This metal bridge right there to the right, that bridge will take you to Hopewell Lake. So that's a little shortcut to the lake too. So you can actually access Hopewell Lake and the pool right from this parking lot. So we're going to turn right, and I'll show you where the playground is and also the outdoor classroom. And the outdoor classroom, it's this beautiful open spot in the middle of the woods, and they have classes there, but you can also rent the area. for weddings or like special events, you can rent this outdoor beautiful area. So I'll link, we have a tour of the outdoor classroom, and if you want to see it, it's so pretty. I'll link that in this description. But this area, here's the parking lot, and they're also doing some construction here right now, but they have a nice pavilion picnic area here, a great playground, and then right up here to the right, right down there is another path. And then right up here, I'll show you this, is the entrance to the outdoor classroom. And there it is, the little outdoor classroom. That's where you would walk. It's like this magical little path, and it leads to this just beautiful spot in the middle of the woods. So that's the outdoor classroom. So if you keep driving right straight through here, we are going to go right to Hopewell Lake. And there's boat launch access here, and you can fish here. These are bathrooms right to the right. There's also a great trail that goes around the whole entire Hopewell Lake, and it's about 2.5 miles, somewhere around there. It's a pretty flat trail, and it's really beautiful. It literally just goes around this whole lake. But here you can see there's canoes. You can rent a boat slip for the season. Just check online. I don't really know the details of how much that costs or anything, but I know you can rent a boat slip from spring to fall, I think. And it's a really beautiful lake. They have picnic tables, and there's parking here. There's not too much parking here, but you can park over by the playground. There's a lot of parking there where we just came from if this is full. And surprisingly enough, it's not very crowded here today. We're here on a weekday, but it's normally pretty busy at this lake, but who knows? So we're gonna head to the right, and I'll show you where the office is. If you're camping or staying over the night, you'll need to check in at the office. So I'll show you where the office is, and then we'll head to the cabins. And we are turning left onto Park Road, and this is the main road that you'll come in on. I decided to start this tour up at the pool because it's a huge hill to get up, and I didn't really want to ride up that big hill. So that's why I decided to start up at the pool area, just so I wouldn't have to, ride all the way up there. So this is Park Road, and the office is right there to the left in that building there. And to the left, there's the fire danger sign, and it's in the green because we have had so much rain, a crazy amount of rain this year, so no fire danger, so that's good. So again, the left is where you would pull into the office, and now we're going to head up to the family cabins. Actually, I think they're called the modern cabins. So it's either family cabins or modern cabins, but they're right down here, and we're going to turn to the right to get up to the cabins. And everything is really well marked here, so you won't have trouble at all navigating around this park. And they have maps at the office too that you can get. So right here is where we're going to be turning into the cabins. So I did just see on the sign, they're called the modern cabins, and they have 10 cabins that you can rent here, and we'll drive by each of them so you can see. And they have your own kitchen, obviously beds, they have your own bathroom and shower, they have electric heat, no air conditioning though. And right here to the right is the first cabin, cabin number 1. That one's tucked away, nice and private. And here comes cabin number 2. And it's nice and quiet back here. It's really pretty. And here's the driveway for cabin 3. Here's cabin 4. That one sits a little closer to the road. But again, it's pretty quiet here. Here's cabin 5. They have a big group there. Here's number 6. Cabin 7. So, you know, they all look the same. They're just, you know, some of them are tucked back more than others. Here's number 8, and they have the fire ring area and picnic table outside too. Here's number 9, and 10 is back there. I can't go back there. There's people there. And then they just have a little turnaround area, and it just goes right back out.
Having fun?
Yeah.
Good.
I am having fun. This is just awesome. I love riding around here. It's so peaceful in the woods, and, you know, the trees are just awesome. I love being around the forest, and, you know, just really peaceful and nice to be out here. And it looks like they have the trash and recycling right here at the end. So if you want to dump your trash, I think that is where you do it. So we're going to be heading out of the modern cabin area. And now we are going to be taking a bike ride to the other lake. We're going to head to Scots Run Lake. And then we'll also take a look at all the camping loops. And we'll also pass a couple group tent areas, like group camping areas. And we're not going to go up into that area because you have to hike, but I can at least show you where they're located. So we're turning left here. We're going back out onto Park Road. And again, everything is really nicely marked, and it looks like they just paved these roads. I haven't been back here in a while, but the last time we were here, the roads were really chewed up with a lot of potholes. So it looks like everything is freshly paved. So it is really awesome to ride bikes here. So if you guys are bike riders, definitely bring your bikes because the roads are super awesome to ride on. So there's the park office to the right where we just passed. So again, that's where you go to check in, and there's the fire danger sign there. And then coming up to the right is Hopewell Lake, where we just rode through. So we're going to head to Scots Run Lake. And Scots Run Lake is the smaller of the two lakes. Hopewell Lake is the biggest one, definitely. And I know a lot of people like to go fishing at Scots Run Lake, so there's a boat launch there as well. So you can bring your canoe or your kayak or your fishing boat. They do allow motorized boats here, but you have to keep them at a slow, no-wake speed. They also have lots of picnic tables at Scots Run Lake and also bathroom facilities too. And while we're riding, I thought I would mention historic Hopewell Furnace is right around the corner from French Creek. And there's also a connecting trail that you can hike from French Creek to Hopewell Furnace. And if you're going around the Hopewell Lake trail at the dam at Hopewell Lake, that's where the connecting trail is to get to Hopewell Furnace. And it's just a short walk from that dam area at Hopewell Lake to the furnace. And it's a really straight path. So you can also, hike to Hopewell Furnace, or you can drive too, but it is right around the corner. So if Hopewell Furnace looks like something interesting, definitely stop by there too. And that dirt road entrance, that was Group Camp 1 there. So I put a little arrow where that group camp entrance is. And I'll also link our Hopewell Furnace tour video in this video too. So if that sounds kind of neat, you can check that out as well. So French Creek State Park, we started in Chester County, but this park goes through Berks County also. And I also wanted to point out, it is super close to Lancaster County. The border to Lancaster is only, I'm going to guess about 6-7 miles. So if you guys are in the Lancaster County area, this is an awesome state park to come and visit or stay overnight. That's not real far from Lancaster as well. And this is a little bit of a hill, not too bad, but I actually have to pedal. So up here, we're going to be turning left to go to Scots Run Lake. Now, if you go straight here, that will take you to the campground, and also Hopewell Furnace is straight. So first we're going to head to the left to go to Scots Run Lake, and then we'll head on back to the campsites. And if you're hiking on the Lenape Trail, you're going to cross here. This is the Lenape Trail right there to the left and the right. And coming up here on the left is the entrance to Scots Run Lake. So we're going to turn left here. And this road, it's like a big giant horseshoe. So you come in this way, you go around the horseshoe, and then you exit, around the bend. So this is really pretty coming through the woods here on the bike. It's just gorgeous. And you can kind of see the lake to the right there through the trees, and we're coming around the bend, and there's picnic areas and the dam, and also a boat ramp will be right here as we come around the bend. I love coming around that bend, and then you see this beautiful lake. It's so pretty. And there's some picnicking areas down there. It's so pretty with the creek, the dam, and then it's kind of busy here. The boat ranch is to the left, so we'll just sneak down here to the left.
Where's the board?
And there's a bathroom to the left, and more parking is down here on the left as well. And there's the lake and more picnicking areas and a little path. So as you drive, this is like a little water area. I never saw that before. I wonder if that's new, but that's nice. There's a little, spigot to get water. And as you drive down here or bike down here on the left, you'll see there's paths to get down to the lake. And here's another parking area. We've parked down here. It's kind of quieter at this end sometimes, so you can just park here, and then there's trails through the pine trees that lead you right to the lake, and there's some picnic tables down there too. So this is Scots Run Lake. It's really pretty, and it's definitely smaller, but it's still just a really beautiful spot just to come and hang out or go fishing or have a picnic. So we'll just keep going out here. This will come out to a stop sign. This is like at the end of the horseshoe, and we're going to be turning right, and we'll be heading to the campground. So if you want to fast forward, if you don't want to, sit through the biking, you can feel free to fast forward till we get to the campground. So here we are at the stop sign, and we're going to be hanging a right, headed to the campground loops. And I think I got stung by something. I don't know if like a bee stung me or something on my leg back there. So anyway, bring your bug spray because it was a little bit buggy back there. But being on the e-bike, I can go a little bit faster and get rid of the bugs. But definitely bring your bug spray because there have been pockets of like mosquitoes and stuff. But I think I definitely got stung. It's kind of stinging pretty bad on my leg. And right up here is where we just entered Scots Run Lake. So there's a parking area there too, but that's where we just entered and then came out the other way. So the stop sign will be right down here, and then we'll be hanging a left to head to the campground loops. And I don't think I mentioned, this is the month of August, and you can definitely tell fall is coming. You hear the crickets. The crickets always remind me of fall is right around the corner. And even like the leaves are starting to just like shrivel up a little bit. And, you can just kind of feel the change in the air that fall is coming. I always love this time of year. I think it's just so pretty. And, sometimes you might have a cool night or two. So really just a pretty time of year. And here we are back at this intersection. So we're going to be turning left. And again, this will take us to the campground, and also it will take you to Hopewell Village. I'm sorry, I meant historic Hopewell Furnace. I think I said Hopewell Village. I was kind of thinking of St. Peter's Village. But anyway, yes, this road will take you to historic Hopewell Furnace as well as the campground. And here we are. There's the sign, campground to the left. So we're almost here. And we wanted to just bike ride through the whole park so we could show you every single thing here, because it is just a really awesome state park. And we wanted to just show you how far everything is from, each lake or campground to the next thing, like the pool or whatever. So you can just definitely get an idea the size of the park and stuff like that. And don't forget, there's tons of hiking trails that, are all over the place here. Tons and tons of trails. So this is a little hill up, and the check-in desk, like the little booth that you check in, is right up here too. That was a little bit longer of a hill. I didn't think that was quite so long and quite so steep. I had to cut a few seconds out of there so you didn't hear all the heavy breathing that was going on. So definitely glad to have the pedal assist with those steep hills. That was pretty long. So here we are, yay, at the top of the hill. And this is the little check-in booth that you'll stop at if you're staying overnight. And there it is, little check-in booth there. And right up here, there is more parking and also a water fill area right there. And then right up here to the right is an amphitheater area. That's right there. And then to the left here is the waste dumping area. I'm not sure if that's the correct term, but that's where you would do that, at that area when you leave. And then we're going to be heading straight ahead to the campsite D loop. So that's straight ahead, and then A, B, and C loops are to the left. So we'll check out the D loop first. And also right to the right here, they have horseshoe pits, and there's parking here as well on the right-hand side. A lot of parking, actually. I didn't even know they had horseshoe pits, so that's pretty cool. And the D campsite loop is not pet friendly. They do have one pet friendly loop, and that is the loop A. So if you have your little furry friend, you want to stay and make a reservation in campsite or loop A. And you can look online for the different loops, what they include, as far as hookups go. So there's campsite loop A, B, C, and D. So this is D, and this is the farthest one down. And it's definitely nice and quiet down here. It's pretty. And there's the bathhouse right there. So we'll just drive around these loops, and I'll try to look back and forth so you can see the different sites and what they look like. But obviously the sites have a picnic table, a fire ring, and some of them are for tents only, and then other ones have the full hookups. And there was a little doggy, although I thought this was a non-pet loop. I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, this is definitely quiet and real pretty back here. We've been to campsite C, I think, a long time ago. One of my kids, they were camping out, and we had a cookout here a long time ago, and that was a busier area. And I don't know if I've ever even been back at this campsite D loop, but it's definitely really pretty and quiet. All right, well, let's head out of loop D, and then we'll head to loop C, B, and A. And I can also show you the yurts, and there's a cottage that you can rent too. So you can look at the campground maps online, and you can see where each site is and each loop, and what each site has as far as electricity and the hookups and stuff like that. So these roads are also real nicely freshly paved as well. So this is super awesome. Okay, turning right at this stop sign, and to the left is the waste dumping area, and then right up here on the right is a nice playground. So if you have little ones, this is a really nice playground they have. And then we're going to head up. Right to the left is the Camp Loop A, and that's the pet-friendly loop. So we'll do that one last. So we'll head to Loop C now. Oh, and sorry, this is Loop B we're turning right into. I thought this was C. So we're heading into Loop B. And then here again, it's one way in and one way out. So we'll just bike around this loop and you can check out the different sites that they have here. Nice and quiet actually back here as well. I always like looking at people's camping setups, like, you know, the cool tents and also the campers that people have. Some of them are crazy fancy and stuff, but I'm not a camper, but I like looking at all the camping stuff. And here's the bathhouse for Loop B. And here we are at the end of Loop B. So we'll head out of here and head to Loop C. And that was another quiet area. So both of them were super quiet. And right up here on the left, you can see a couple yurts. And there's also camping cottages. And it's the same kind of deal as the modern cabins. They have electric, they have a kitchen, there's picnic tables, a fire ring, and no AC though. So you can check online and see actually what everything, you know, all the amenities that they include in those yurts and cottages. And it looks like this Loop C also has full hookups. And you can double check online on the campground map which sites do include the full hookup, which ones include electric, and which ones are just like tent camping. This smells so good. It just smells like campfire and woods. I love, love, love campfire smell. And Loop C is not pet friendly. So we'll be headed to the pet friendly loop, which is Loop A, in just a second. And another nice camping loop. And that one was busier and it was still, you know, quiet, pretty quiet. I thought it would be a little bit busier, but real nice. And straight ahead are the yurts. And we'll just go over here. Here's the camping cottages, just to give you an idea of where these are located. And they're right next to the yurts. So the camping cottages are there, the yurts are right here, and then you have campsite C there to the left. So now we will head out of here and head to our last loop, Campsite A, which is the pet-friendly loop. And here we go, turning into campsite loop A, the pet-friendly loop. And we'll just do the same thing. We'll just drive around and you can check out the different sites. And it smells really good here, like campfire. And again, you know, pretty quiet. And there's the bathhouse for Loop A. Very nice camping area, I have to say. You know, just seemed like, you know, a bunch of nice people hanging out, enjoying the nature and the wilderness. And, you know, the whole campground area was just really surprisingly quiet and just real nice. So I love French Creek State Park, and I hope this helps you guys in planning your, you know, camping trip if you come this way in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure if this loop is bigger or if it's just my imagination, but this loop A seemed larger than the rest, but that might not be true. So here we are at the end of loop A. There's the playground right there, and then here we are exiting the campground, and the way station will be right to the right. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour of French Creek State Park, located Elverson, Pennsylvania. So let us know if you visit the park and what you thought of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like our videos, and have a great day whatever you're doing. See you on the next one.